We are going to start, though, with the COVID-19 situation. South Korea expecting to see a jump in the number of cases for Friday as the decline in infections gradually slows due to the quickening spread of the Omicron strain.
The country is set to begin administering oral COVID-19 pills starting today, and new social distancing guidelines will also be announced. For more on this, our reporter Choi Min-jung is here in the studio with us. Good morning, Min-jung.
Good morning.
As always, let's start with the local infections.
Mok-yeon, we're expecting today's tally to be a little higher than what was seen yesterday, once again going above the 4,000 mark. From midnight to 9 p.m. on Thursday, South Korea reported very close to 4,000 cases. This is up by more than 500 cases from the day before and almost 700 cases compared to a week ago. Numbers have been declining for a while now with stronger social distancing measures and the nation's booster shot drive. But it seems the decline is gradually slowing down due to the spread of the Omicron variant. Officials are expecting to see a resurgence in cases, with Omicron likely to become the dominant strain within the next week or two.
Okay, and imported cases continue to hit record highs, and we're hearing that more people who came back to Korea after going to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas have come down with COVID-19.
That's right, Mark. The country has once again witnessed a record-breaking number of imported cases. On Thursday, the country confirmed 391 cases from overseas. South Korea also detected more COVID-19 infections from people returning from CES, which was held in Las Vegas. As of Thursday, a total of 119 attendees were confirmed as positive for COVID-19. According to authorities, Omicron infections have been identified in the pool, and given that the variant represents around 98% of cases in the U.S., it's highly likely the majority of imports from CES are also Omicron. Now, because the majority of overall imported cases are the Omicron variant, authorities have decided to impose stricter quarantine measures for inbound travelers. Starting January 20th, everyone arriving in South Korea must use quarantine buses, trains, and taxis specifically designated for those arriving from abroad. This means these people will not be able to use public transportation, but they will be able to use their own cars. On top of that, those scheduled to arrive in Korea will be asked to submit a negative PCR test taken a maximum of 48 hours ahead of their departure date. Currently, people are required to do this up to 72 hours before departure.
So tougher measures for inbound travelers. But Min-jung, we also touched upon the issue that the oral COVID-19 pills have arrived in South Korea yesterday. What are we expecting now?
Right, like you just said, Pfizer's oral pills have arrived at Incheon Airport yesterday afternoon, and they were delivered to a logistics center in Chungcheongbuk-do province later in the day. The initial batch is enough to treat 21,000 people, and of this amount, 70% have been set aside for nationwide distribution. The delivery began at around 2 a.m. today to around 280 pharmacies as well as 89 residential treatment centers. Facilities will most likely receive the treatments sometime today, and they're also bound to arrive on islands like Jeju by tomorrow. The leftover 30% will be stored at the logistics center, and they'll be supplied to regions that are in more need, perhaps in places that are seeing a surge in cases. The treatments will be administered once they arrive at pharmacies and treatment centers, with priority given to those aged 65 and over and people with weakened immune systems. And when taking the pills, people should take 3 pills at a time, once in the morning and once in the evening. They need to be taken for 5 days, regardless of how symptoms progress.
Okay, so even if someone's feeling better, they still have to take them for the duration of the 5 days. Updated social distancing measures, we're expecting an announcement on that in the coming hours. Do we know what we might be seeing?
Right, like you said, new social distancing measures are set to be announced soon, and we're expecting the measures to be relaxed to a certain extent, but it does seem too soon to expect a lot of easing back. According to a government official, the authorities are considering increasing the number of people allowed for social gatherings from the current 4 to 6 people, but likely with business operations still limited to 9 p.m. These new measures will likely take effect for 3 weeks starting next Monday, considering the Lunar New Year holiday is coming up at the end of January. However, sources say that the government will still leave room to strengthen measures anytime if the virus situation worsens due to Omicron. The government is set to announce plans to tackle the variant and ways to support small businesses today as well.
Right, let's wait for the announcement. Anyway, Min-jung, thank you so much for your report. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.